Hey, if you're a collector, you've probably asked yourself many times, what do I want my collection to look like? And hopefully, as the year ends and 2026 is right around the corner, that you as a collector, and I know me as a collector, can, look back at their collection to see how 2025 went, the things that you liked, things that you would change next year. But I had some time, as I always do at the end of the year, to reflect on the past year, not only in cards, but in life. And I really enjoyed collecting in 2025. I stepped out of the box. I got many. Started collecting a little bit of magazines, which I loved. Just a little bit of everything. And as I sat here in my room and watching the games on the TV, I started looking around, and I started looking at things that I've started that I really haven't completed, things that really bring me joy, and I kind of want to set myself of some goals for 2026. I have 3 sets of goals. I have my hobby goals, things that I'm going to focus on, prioritize. I have my card room goals, the things I want to do around the room. And I also have YouTube goals. I really want to, I got on YouTube to share my collection, to connect with other collectors, and I want to do more of that. Granted, I'm busy, as everybody is, but I feel like I can do it. I feel like the goals that I'm about to show you are reasonable for the YouTube. I set some stretch goals for my cards, and those stretch goals will hopefully allow me to be more quote unquote focused. I don't know, but yes, there is room in there in those goals for just miscellaneous, because I do like going off on the beaten path sometimes. I'm seeing what we can find. But I want to show you how I'm keeping track, and hopefully, if you've ever thought about this, maybe this will give you some ideas on how to set up a spreadsheet or something very similar to help you keep track of what's ahead. So, I don't know, let's take a look at my sheet, and we'll go over my 2026 goals to help me put this out there in order to help myself stay on track and maybe accountable for the things that I'm looking for in 2026. Okay, here's the spreadsheet I was talking about with my 2026 collecting goals. So I have 3 tabs here. One for hobby goals, YouTube goals, card room goals, which we will get to. Let's take a look at my goals, right? So my team sets, right? I've really been kind of like putting them off because I've kind of fallen in love with, I don't know, a lot of other things. But I really need to get back into the team sets and try to finish them off. I have listed here for the Pirates for 1960 to 80 because I really just need to do a quick audit to make sure I have everything. I may be missing a few from the 60s team sets, but I think I have the majority. And then I have everything from 81 to current, which I do know. So I didn't really audit that one yet, but I really love to complete those team sets. I love seeing that collection grow and build. I like to add a good amount of Jerome Bettis, Sidney Crosby, and Mike Trout. And as you can see, my Clemente, so make it a little bigger. Clemente, 5 playing day items, some modern day short prints, which I need to make a video about that. So I don't know, probably like stay tuned to that. I like to add a couple playing days cards of my Pittsburgh great quarterbacks, Joe Namath and Johnny U. 10 magazines about, and I like to have a wide representation of different players, like in my collection. Even though I am mainly a Pittsburgh collector, I want to add the greats of the game, 1 or 2 cards. I do not need anything special. I just want those representation. And so I like to add some new Hall of Fame players within my collection, for the 3 sports that I collect. I like to add some more Hall of Fame autographs. My Pittsburgh Hall of Fame collection that I have kind of neglected. I'd like to get back to that, getting those rookies or first cards. Do not need a lot, I believe, for the Pirates, but I do need to get back to the Steelers and Penguins. I didn't really start the Penguins, so I'm starting that. I like to add some Pittsburgh Hall of Fame autographs. So from that list, I like to add those autographs. Pirates and Steeler and Penguin autographs of players. And I like to do some player runs of current players and different things that I really, really enjoy. And retired stars such as Kershaw. And I have a lot of them, but probably need to fill, as you see the names, I probably have a lot of them, but just want to fill those gaps to kind of complete those. Haven't really decided who I want to go for football. Hockey, I like to get Erik Karlsson, Ovechkin, McDavid, McKinnon, and Matthews. The Young Guns will be out of question because I'd rather put that money towards the top portion, but I can probably pick up a non-Young Guns rookie for a decent price. That is still a great card. But even though it's pretty focused here, there's not really a lot. It seems like a lot at first glance, I think, but I don't know. We'll see how it goes. But I did factor in just fun stuff too. Even though this helps me stay focused a tad bit, I still want room in there for anything that really catches my eye. I'm a Pittsburgh collector, true and true. I will always find that stuff more appealing than most, but I do like key cards from players in years. I love Stadium Club of all years, canvas cards, stars and semi-stars, autos of current favorites and just good players or stars, and then rookie cards that I've done a video on that this past summer. If I remember, I'll throw a link of that in there. But there's some of the bigger cards that I will need. The Malkin, Letang, Crosby, Joe Green, Bradshaw. Those are the cards that I will need to complete some of those sets. Is the Crosby Young Guns going to be on the docket this year? I doubt it, but you never know. I'd like to add a Trout auto, a Crosby auto, and I liked to add a Ward auto, which I did. Is, if you catch my last video, some other autos, and then just some star 80s from football. I will be adding some more on here for baseball and hockey to kind of get the ball rolling there. But as I was creating this list, these are some of the players from the early to mid 80s that I loved hearing about, seeing videos, and even watching play. So it is football season, so it's on the top of my mind. So that's the focus there. My YouTube goals. It seems far-fetched, but I'd like to hit that 100 video mark. I'd like to create and spend some time with my videos and really, enjoy making those and some productions I got in the hobby. Always been in the hobby, but I've got onto YouTube in order to share my collection and make friends of other like-minded individuals, which has been very, very successful. But I like to do more videos, and that's like 2 a week, really, if you think about it. It don't necessarily have to be long or whatever, but I like to share my collection and different things of how I'm organizing my collection, etc. Which brings me to, I have card room and administrative goals. I like to add more magazines to my wall and my displays and just my room all around. I am a very organized person, which I like because I could usually find something pretty quick in my room. But there is some organization that still has left to be done. And who knows, I may recreate the whole thing. I'd like to also do a better job at changing around my 2 display cases, as well as the shelves that have been put up around the room. And I want to start logging more of my collection to possibly limit the amount of doubles, and 2, for purposes to just have a log of everything in this room for that just in case moment. So that's it. That's my spreadsheet. This can be easily created in Google Doc, and I've been probably putting this together for about a month, and I've changed it and here and there. So this is a guide. This is not the end-all be-all. This is a guide to help me through the year when I'm like, But I think my favorite part about it is this fun stuff. It allows me to go off the beaten path and find those gems and hitting cards in the rough, so to speak. So that is it. Happy New Year. And I hope you will follow along on my collecting journey in a sports journey in 2026. Until next time, Yins, take care.